it going, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And man, we're going to be talking about what's going down on AEW, on the AEW Collision, which was a very interesting show. I would say not probably the greatest show that we have seen in, I'll say, in recent not the greatest show that we have seen like in recent timing, but it was still something to tidy us over. Like, and it's probably not like exactly a match that's compared to the what's it called match. I'll say like what we got plenty of matches that's gonna be coming this Wednesday, and we got more matches gonna be added on. We also got here's where we got the two eliminator stars that's been qualified tonight, and that's gonna be joining what's his name, Orange Cassidy and Speedball Mike Bailey. And I want to ask you again, and I'm saying for a final time before the day of Wednesday, and who do you think's going to walk out of AEW Dynamite like on Wednesday as your current NXT? I mean not NXT, AEW International Championship contender, but this is where we got Ricky the Dicky and Katsuyori Shibata, Mark Davis and what's his name, and Mark what's his name, and Mr. Mark what's his name, Mark Davis and Mark Briscoe and FTR and what's it called, and the Undisputed Kingdom and FTR took shots onto each other until we got the intro, and then we got the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata versus Ricky the Dicky. This was a very close match. This was totally definitely anybody's game because judging by what they teased with Omega and Katsuyori Shibata going face to face, they said it could be a possibility, which I'll say I hope that was the case, but unfortunately, we're going to see otherwise. But I'm going to explain what exactly that's the case, because this is where both men then went. Here's where we got what happened. That's where we got the Dicky then try to go for a wrist lock, but this is where Katsuyori Shibata started kicking some leg slides, like boom, boom, and kicking right to the left leg all over the place. Then Katsuyori was like, all right, get back up, Ricky. And this is where then Katsuyori was like, okay, like, are you yeah, you want to play this dirty game? This is where Katsuyori Shibata was like, okay, like, this is where then Ricky was like, all right, I'm ready. And this is where Ricochet then was like, oh, like, and then I started looking around. This is where we got Ricky was like, I only got one question, stupid, that he shot out to somebody in the crowd. Then he tried to go for a grapple onto one of the guys where he tried to go for a headlock, but this is where we got Shibata then ends up grabbing onto him, puts him on the top corner rope, throw him in the bottom. This is where Ricky the Dicky hit a shoulder tackle right onto the current AEW what's that called? The current this is where they got the current AEW what name? The current the former AEW, I mean Ring of Honor Pure Champion. He went right to the right corner side, go for a leg slide, but this is where we got Katsuyori Shibata ducks out of the way when him having no hesitation of Ricky hitting him with the move. He was like, all right, like, I'm not gonna move, and this is where he tricked him, like that Olay playing wrestling bullfighting. This is where then we got trying to go for a clothesline. This is where then we got Katsuyori Shibata throws him right to the right corner side. He tried to go for a bow duck, but he gets leg flip. This is where he tried to run right to the left side, hit the knife edge chop. And this is where then we got Ricky the Dicky was like, like, how does he hit so strong but yet being so small? But this is where then he hits a leg slide kick right into the back of his knee. This is where back of his leg, wherever you want to put it. But this is where we got what else happened? It was what was that? This is where we got Ricky the Dicky sending him right in the outside, hits him with a dive, then try to pick up the wrestler and throws him back in the ring. This is where the Dicky then came in and look at him for a second. This is where he hits a middle drop kick. This is where then we got Ricochet. Then picks him right back up. This is where he hits a knee right into his back, right into the right side. This is where then we got the partial powerful force came on, which was the picture-in-picture break. And once the partial advert came on, this is where we saw it was Shibata that was making a return, making a massive comeback. Like this is where Shibata run to the right corner side, but he ends up getting drop kicked right into the face. This is where we got Ricky. That was like, back of my head. This is where the Ricochet was like, I'm still up. This is where the Ricochet then try to walk up, trying to get to Shibata. This is where fans are chanting, "You still suck," and that's a simple fact because since he's a heel and the fan hating one, that's a narcissistic psychopath kind of heel, like. Yeah, that was definitely an understatement. On to the former Triple Crown mid card champion over at the other company, but this is where fans like, which surprisingly didn't have anything to throw him in the ring unless Anthony Khan made a rule. Like if they attack Ricky the Dicky, then they're gonna get kicked out and banned from the place. Ricky the Dicky didn't try to make a deal to Katsuyori. This is where he's like if I slap you any place, like you go back to me. This is where then Shibata's like, no, I have a better idea. How about you try to slap me as hard as I can in every single part of my body? This is where he started with his leg. He's like, okay, now go to my shoulder. This is where he did that, and he tried to go to his neck. This is where he's like, I still don't feel no pain. This is where Ricky the Dicky was frustrated, saying like, how you cannot feel no pain? Is where fans are chanting, "You fucked up." And yeah, I know that's a very bad word, but like it's exactly what they said until we got what's the name? Katsuyori Shibata didn't hit a move that he learned from a very legendary wrestling family, which is the Von Erich family. Well, the older brother of the Von Erichs, like which is what's his name? Kevin Von Erich. Well, technically second oldest, but anyway, yeah, if you watch the Iron Claw movie, you'll understand what I'm saying. But this is where we got Katsuyori Shibata that runs right to the bottom left side, then went to the upper right corner side, tried to go over a boot, but he slaps him hard right into the chest, which I believe. Like even the ring general must have felt it, like if he got hit. But he was in Spain like over the weekend because he had a match himself. But yeah, this is where he matched. He was fighting any of these guys, but this earned Shibata a seventh place spot. This is where we got. This is where he tried to go for an attack to Ricky the Dicky. This is where then this is where we got what's his name? This is where we got. And somehow Ricky the Dicky then try to go for that. What's that called maneuver? That vertebreaker maneuver. But this is where Katsuyori Shibata try to go for the sleeper. Ricochet flipped right out of it, which got high praise from both Nigel McGuinness and Antonio Schiavone, saying like that was a pretty good reverse. This is where Shibata tried to keep getting to for a sleeper, but Ricky the Dicky flipped right over. Gets the easy surprise. First it did not work the first time. It got 2.4. Shibata go for another sleeper, like if they're just going for a mixed martial art. But this is where Ricky the Dicky somehow got out of it yet again. Shibata tried to go for a leg swipe kick, but he tried to run, but this is where Ricochet kicks him right in the midst, or near him in the midst. This is where he got him with surprise rope, put the legs on the bottom corner side ropes for the victory of the 1-2-3. And yeah, like typical grand fashion, Ricky the Dicky wins with his own merit. And what are your thoughts on Ricky the Dicky winning and joining Speedball, Mike Bailey, and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy? And do you think this was absolutely needed? Which your boy SNA probably think that it probably is, like considering that there's a lack of heel stars that's going to be in this four-way match. So they needed that heel guy, and Ricochet fits in that absolute description. But yeah. Well, who do you think is going to win the Battle of the Mark showdown, which we're going to talk about later on? But it's where they showed a vignette with Kenny Omega announcing this tournament number contenders match for his international championship at AEW Dynasty. But this is where it shows me by Mike Bailey and Orange Cassidy already made it in by beating the respective opponent of Hechicero and Beast Mortos. But it's where they showed like the participants, which we all know that Ricky the Dicky won. But this is where we got the murder machines, and Mark Davis was attacking everybody in the locker room. Well, at least the enhancement guys, like because they would not dare attack the stars because one, they don't know where they could possibly be most of the times, and secondly, like even if they do found them, like they're asking for a deathbed, like if they're trying to attack him from behind. Good question. Yeah. I'll say I think they're the two top best wrestling companies right now in professional wrestling. That's one thing I could tell you. But anyways, let's. I think the other company's winning by just by a couple of inches, which is yeah. I'm not sure if I should mention them by name, like unless I'm talking about W. But but this is where Thomas Tony Storm then this is where then she presented herself in this vignette next. This is where this was like, yeah, we are in Las Vegas. Like, and good, like, I'm gonna fill up some slops. Like, you could. And this is where then she started saying, make some adult jokes about you can make anybody scream like as long as they're the age of over 21. And I was like, hopefully that does not occur to male, handsome, mask wearing assassins. Like hopefully that didn't give too much away of self referentials or self referrals. But anyways, this is where we got Tony Storm that went on to talk about Megan Bain, like with her simply got assaulted by her, which who could blame her for pointing that out? Like this is where we got. This is like. And he was like, I was like, what'd you do by my back? I was like, see you do to my face. Like, you just go swim around like some kind of hammer, like temper like the companies like AEW. Well, that's your problem. Like, you're making shark fin soup. Like, ain't that right? Like, and you pull, into, I don't know what. That goes, and that don't just go for you, Megan. That goes for all the women in one in particular in the women's division, which I was saying, like, well, what that one in particular did to you for you to say that? This is where then Tom starts to, like, and yeah, putting away. And it's like it just put what's like in talk like you want to come in something like some like some kind of hammerhead like well I have no problem with that like I have no problem to make shark fin soup out of you just where like and then that goes and what did you say it's just like you want to fight for the gold and step up for the table, like pay your bet and take your bet, and boom, like you're gonna get the outcome because everything will become up timeless. Which she said is that with her side of her head looking like in that manner. But what are your thoughts onto this mini feud for the women's championship between Megan Bain and Tony Storm? Or timeless Tony Storm, let me rephrase that. And do you think this is a bit too soon for Megan Bain and she needs to get wins after wins? I would think so, but let me know in the comment section right down below. Or do you think that she actually earns a shot at the women's championship, even though despite having just a couple of matches? I mean, like I said before, it don't matter like how many matches you. If you have that talent and have the material enough to become a champion, especially a world champion in this point, like then you should get a shot at it. Like if you can improve, if you have what it takes. But this is where then we got the one-on-one match between Brian Cage taking on Griff Garrison, which Griff Garrison, like he like the way he fought like Powerhouse Hobbs, it was like if he was just coming to WWE, I mean AEW, I'm talking about. He just came coming to AEW, even though he's been there for almost 5 years, which Antonio Schiavone even pointed out. Like, and he said even the state that's been nearly a year since the last time we saw him on AEW television. Yeah, it was like probably last summer, if I'm not mistaken. But oh yeah, I heard it's gonna be their. I just talked about that on the wrestling news today. That the other company's pay per view after the biggest pay per view, like but in May they're gonna be in St. Louis, just the next door neighbors to the best city of the United States. I seen that myself too. Yeah, I even mentioned that. When I heard the schedulings of that particular particular wrestler that could potentially be a champion by the biggest show of the year comes on. But this is where we got. But anyway, this is where we got Powerhouse Hobbs gave Griff Garrison a shot at hitting a few shots, but that did not work. This is where he then clobbers him. This is where we got Griff Garrison's minions like Preston Vance and that other guy try to come in and attack Powerhouse Hobbs, but yeah, they were asking for a death wish because he throws him immediately right out back at the ring, and this is where he hits a double A spine buster after Griff Garrison tried to attack him and try to Irish whip him. Only for that to go backfire. And, we got the former TNT champion get a big dub here. Well, not as big as as his other wins that he had in his career, but just a warm up for a match against like anybody that comes to his way of success. And let me know down in the comment section right down below about this win. I'll say the opener. I'll say about the Bronze Trophy, and then and I'll say the other match probably silver because with it having story to tell, and also with the Donald Callis family members getting involved and whatnot, and it's the battle of the marks. But anyway, this is where we got the minions try to come back and try to do a 2-on-1 beatdown onto the powerhouse, but surprisingly, we heard the Outrunners music up, and once they zoomed out of the ring, that's where we saw. Next thing you know, they're in the ring. I'm like, how in the hell did they got there so fast? Maybe they were hiding underneath the ring, like that little trick that everybody posted on social media. Maybe that's what they were doing, which we'll probably see some footage of it on the IWC. But yeah, the Outrunners took out Griff Garrison and his boys with the Powerhouse Hobbs, just knocking them out. Boom! And it's where they start flexing their guns. Like, yeah! But they look ripped as hell. This is where we got Turbo Floyd Truth Magnum. Like, you son of a... And that's where then he did the handshake with them, showing their biceps, with Powerhouse Hobbs flexing two of his at the same damn time. But this is where we got... Lexi Nair was in an interview with Thunder Rosa. This where she's like, you mentioned their lack of respect, like of the women's locker room. Like, how'd that affect of having your match tonight? Because yeah, she has she's gonna be in a battle tonight, and I gotta admit that this match was totally good to the point like it's not gonna just get any not gonna get any trophies, not even the golden trophy. He's gonna get the platinum trophy, but we're gonna get that just a moment. Here's the Thunder Rosa. You know what this women's building? Like, it's built on respect. He's like, that's what women that think they're too big and too pretty or too good, like to come and respect that, like they just laying themselves for this business, like for AEW. Like, and yeah, Megan, I'm definitely talking about you in particular. Like, he's like, I'm the tired of you disrespecting me. Like, I've always talked about what you did to Tony Storm last Wednesday. Like, you don't do that to our women's world champion. Guess what? Like, the Meta Thunder Rosa is going to be have more of the arteries, more than your brain cells, because yeah, the only thing she have in her brain is pain. Like, and that's what she wants to give to her victims, like here in her stay in AEW. And that's what she basically did to Thunder Rosa, needless to say. Start kneeing her right into the midsection, slams her right into the ground after attacking her. Like, I believe she cracked a couple of her ribs because, let's just say, like, not so long after, this was that she got her ribs patched up, or her, yeah. I mean, this is where she even shouted her ribs, like, for the second reason, like, her ribs could be confirmed to be broken, but I'm not sure if that's like really like the case or that's just all part of I'll say the script. Yeah, I don't know. Like, but yeah, but let me know down in the comment section right down below and what's your opinion on this match. And and let me know like if you this was probably the best. Is it the best match, or do you think it's like the main event match? Which I give that the golden trophy, and I'm gonna talk more about that later. And speaking of trophies, I give the silver trophy to the Battle of the Marks. This was totally good, and we saw Mark being qualified along with Ricky the Dicky, Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy, and Speedball Mike Bailey. And yeah, we're gonna talk about right here. Mark Davis and Mark Briscoe didn't battle it out by Mark Briscoe cornering Mark Davis right to the upper right corner side. This is where he tried to go for a back to belly maneuver with Mark Davis. He elbows him, saying he's the best mark of AEW. This is where he tried to go for a close on. But this is where Mark Briscoe ducks out of the way, hits a knee strike, and it's his redneck kung fu. Hopefully that doesn't sound offensive when I say it like that. I was just saying it like, yeah, the way Mark Briscoe would say it, because he says it like in a pretty cool way. But it's where then we got the former Ring of Honor champion, then gets Irish whip right into the bottom right. I mean, go after it's where then he dropped right to the upper bottom right corner side. This one hits what's that called? Karate Kid. Like, what's that cream kick? Like, which he definitely is a Karate Kid. And next to those that love sweeping around the legs, it's where we got Mark Briscoe start hitting some lucky striking right hands. That's where then he hits like not just one but two. That's where then we got Mark Briscoe like, who wants to see me do? It's karate chop boys, and it's like, ah! And then this where then we got. And he's like, because I'm that boy. And then this is where he tries with Mark Quinn right to the upper corner side. This is where he gets big body drop by the latest edition of the Donald Callis family. This is where we got Mark Quinn, Mark Davis, then throws Mark Briscoe right into the upper left corner side, then clotheslines him, then hits a back suplex like if he's like a 215 pounder. This is where he hits a senton like one as well. This is where he throws Mavin sent right into the That's where Mark Briscoe then went right into the left corner apron. That's where he tried to collect the former ROH champion. That's where he flips him right on the outside. Mark Briscoe went right to the bottom corner side. That's where he went back to the top, hit a cannonball version of a suicida, which he started giving a high five wave to the crowd, like that was in attendance in the Sin City. And this is where I was like, I'm surprised there's no dig at the other company, like for them hosting their big show there, but I'm not going to get into that at this time. But this is where we got. A funny thing about that, I haven't. I'm not sure if I've seen that. Maybe I did once, but I totally forgot what happens in the movie. But yeah, like I do remember clearly, obviously the actors that was on the movie. Well, they're also singers as well. Like, but yeah, like I think I might have forgot about, it, but yeah, like my parents probably watch that all the time. Like, but anyways, the what's it called, The Wiz, yeah. Like it does look like a pretty awesome movie. But anyway, this is where we got Mark Briscoe went right on put the chair right on the top rope, stand right on top of it, while running like from the left to the right, hit a cannonball right onto the other Mark, which he knocks him out. This is where Mark Briscoe's like, yeah, like you're looking at your next AEW like international champion. Sorry, Kenny. Like, and it's where he thinks he's gonna defeat Kenny Omega. That's a good question. Like that depends on who wants it more. Like, but anyways, once they were in the partial powerful force in all of pro wrestling, which eventually turned into a full powerful force, to take over. This is where we've gone back in the ring. But the thing is, we saw I believe what's his name, Mark Briscoe still was on top. Like it's where he hit a middle drop kick, which must be a fan favorite. That's where it's where he ends up getting thrown right to the bottom right corner side. Then that corner started getting chopped in the process. But it's where Mark Briscoe's going for a chop, which Briscoe probably got the second place, while Mark Davis, not Mark Quinn, that's Private Party. Mark Davis got third place, perhaps, because number one is going to Dax the Axe. But this is where we got Towers got the bottom left corner side, but he goes to the but this is where he flips right into the right corner, left corner side. Like this is where he tries to grab him, but this is where he gets hit with a big old Briscoe style cut, like which is his version of an uppercut. This is where he runs with the top corner side. This is where he tries to go for a running clothesline, but this is where I think we got left. I don't know. I think it was the left side, yeah, but this is where he started hitting some forearm strikes repeatedly. Like, boom, how about this, and this where then he got, oh, really, you did? That's great. I need to probably give that a watch. I need to find a streaming service if they have that movie on it, which I think it's on one of the streaming movie services. I just need to go look at them and give it a watch as well, but this is where we got Mark Briscoe try to go for a suplex, but this is where we got, what's his name, Mark Davis, to try to counter. And this is where he hits a big old right hand to the left side of the jaw, throws the former Ring of Honor World Champion right in there in the process, while adding a double underhook suplex. This is where we got Mark Davis trying to go for a knee strike right into the face, right onto Mark Briscoe, then sat onto the midsection of Mark Briscoe. He gets the left shoulder up at 2.7. But that's where we got what's his name, Mark Davis, then grab onto to Mark Briscoe. This is where he tried to power bomb him or buckle bomb him right to the apron, like he's a certain brawler and fighter that does it for a prize. But this is where he leg swipes him. This is where he goes for a cannonball, like into a what's that called? What that cannonball slash what's that blockbuster neckbreaker maneuver, Majiggy, right onto the other Mark. This is where he's like, they like, this Mark's gonna win, and this is where they started celebrating with the crowd, which maybe he did a bit too soon though, because once he got him back in the ring, this is where we got all the drastic changes started to happen when Mark Briscoe tried to go first through a chain drill. That did not work, but he ends up hitting a fisherman's buster. That's where he tried to go for a pin, but Mark Davis kicked out at 2.8. That's where Antonio Schiavone was like, yeah, man, that was so close. I thought for sure, but personally, that was going to happen. But that's where we got Mark Briscoe on to Mark Davis. This is where then we got. That's where we got Mark Davis hitting pile driver right on to Mark. This is where then Briscoe then kicks out at 7. This is where Mark Davis was getting very frustrated. This is where he got him right to the corner into the upper right corner side. This is where the Mark Briscoe did stop him. This is where he hit the uppercut, and this is where he got him right into the bottom. In the bottom right side, if I'm mistaken. That's where then he hits a Death Valley driver, like a Dream Valley driver version of it. That's where Mark Briscoe tried to go for the Froggy Bowl. But guess who comes out there distracting the referee? And guess who knocks down Mark Briscoe? So Mark Davis can hit a flying step up into the or Gamingiri. You guess the Murder Machine with Lance Archer distracting the referee while Brian Cage throws Mark Briscoe over the top rope. I'm like, yeah, like I should have known this was going to be happening. But this is where, needless to say, we got Mark Davis that hit his finisher. 1, 2, 3. Winner of his match, Mr. Marcus Davis. And this is where he's at it, and this is where the four-way is going to be in Orange Cassidy, Speedball Mike Bailey, what's his name? Ricky the Dicky Ricochet, and Mark Davis. And who do you think is going to be the next challenger for Kenny Omega's AEW International Championship? The one thing I can tell you about this is for the fact that they said that Kenny Omega's going to hold on to that title until he meets up with the bitch man Kazuchika Okada. Like with him having the Continental Championship, with them trying to unify into one big major mid-card championship, which is going to be probably called the International Continental Championship, which kind of sounds similar to that other belt that's in the other company that's being held on by that certain dog that's a second-generation wrestler. But let me know down in the comment section right down below if you know what I'm referencing. But that's where they start advertising the Fatal 4-Way match, and along with the AEW Dynasty event. And I've tried to make a promise to make a review video on that because I'm trying to work on getting some stuff together. And I'll probably, if it's not going to be on Max, I'll probably watch it on Triller TV like I did with AEW Wrestle Dynasty, or AEW / New Japan Wrestle Dynasty, which I believe was the primary host, like the primary co-host, New Japan Pro Wrestling. But let's move on to the next slide. That's what we got. What's his name? The Murder Machines, like they had a squash match, but they end up carrying their enhancement guys. This is where they end up beating them, probably even less than 5 seconds. But this is where then they try to do a post-match beatdown continuously on them. But this is where, luckily, we got Mark Briscoe comes in because he haven't forgotten what they just did, like not even 10 minutes ago. This is where we got. Luckily, Powerhouse Hobbs came in and came for the save. On to Mark Briscoe. This is where Powerhouse Hobbs are right here, like boom, 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 boom. This is where he knocks out Lance Archer right in the back. This is where then we got Mark Briscoe to start going at it with Brian Cage. This is where he hits him face first right into the barricade. Then Brian Cage tried to attack, but he is hit with a redneck uppercut. Right, and this is where the a redneck kung fu uppercut, let me rephrase that to be corrected. Not trying to assume them be, that. This is where the Mark Briscoe started repeated right hands. This is where we got Brian Cage throws, Mark Briscoe right into the barricade. This is where then Mark Briscoe to throw him right into the door. This is where he started punching, like, get off. And this is where they exit out and went to the backstage area, which I was like, I'm going to be surprised they still continuing to kick their butts, like kick each other's butts. And I was like, I mean, like it happened like last night on the other show, like with them having this very major heated rivalry, like for that particular for their championship in their division, which that's going to be in a different video from a different day, in particularly. But This is where we got the conclusion of the main event of AEW Revolution, and then the the post segment after that, which Cope said he's gonna promise he's gonna go out for the championship. This is where we got Swerve Strickland came out there amazingly without Prince Nana. This is where Swerve Strickland and send a message to whoever the champion is. You're like, yeah, well, after I said I was going to do, and I would defeat Ricky the Dicky to become the number one contender for the AEW World Championship that he started off with. This is where then he's like, I don't take nothing away from Ricky the Dicky. Like, he is tough as hell, and he's one gifted performer, and he's probably the best, he's like, you're probably the best to step in this ring. This is where then he probably take a dig at the other company about a certain rapper like attacking a former EVP of AEW by hitting him right in the side of his head. But this is where then he did it by saying that Ricochet ruptured his eardrum. This is where then Ricochet didn't continue. Swerve Strickland is there. He's gonna work. He warned him to step foot in the most dangerous man in AEW, and that one thing is that he's gonna put him down. He's like, if you want to challenge me again, like I will gladly step you, and I will smack your bald ass right back down again. It's probably more hairless than your like your nickname, like that represents that. But it's where he's like, and it's where everybody starts chanting, whose house? Swerve's house, like if they're Prince Nana. It's where Swerve's looking like, yeah, like you already know, like this is Swerve's house. This is like, but and it. It is where then Swerve Strickland explained why Prince Nana was not there, because he was at home protecting the embassy robe, and he apologized to the Las Vegas fan. He's like, it is like, now let's talk about the AEW, the best top prize, and for the best of the best in the world, and to compete like for that championship, like you got to be great, like. But when you win the championship, like you have to be like. You had to be him, and you had to, and you most importantly, you had to be all elite, and that's why I proved last year I was all elite, and I did win the AEW World Championship. And guess what? Guess what guess what that pay-per-view was? Yep, you guessed it, AEW Dynasty, and that's where and this is where Swerve Strickland considered like I was all elite, and it seemed like history does repeat itself, because I'll be standing like across the ring from the AEW World Champion as the challenger in 3 weeks, and I'll have a chance to leave the Dynasty once again back to back as your new AEW World Champion. I'm like, hopefully that will be indeed the case. I guess you could say that, but I just add some realism, and I guess the way I say it is more funnier than the wrestlers would say it. I thought I might make it more realistic, but if it gets censored out on TV, then I would say bad words that would spell it out in other words, like by spelling out in the initials of the words, like sugar honey iced tea, or fudge unsweetened chocolate kiwi kale, or biscuit iced tea chicken hotcakes. Yeah. But it is very funny the way I say it. But yeah, anyways, this is where we go. Here's what the Swerve Strickland then and talk about. Like, he looked up. Here's what this what that's where they talk about his idol, like his wrestling idol, like about being a first uh, one of his idol, like next to Ron Simmons. This is where Schwartz said, I've looked up to a Cope like my whole life. Like he took me under his wing, and he see like how to seize the opportunity from the rated R superstar. He's like, yeah, you don't become dangerous without learning from the rated R man himself. And this where then y'all say, yeah, speaking of rated R, like just like my viewer right here saying, like using the bad words, but it's where we got. This is what Schwartz, like, whether you are a challenger or champion, like, you are in my way. Like with all due respect, Cope, and this is where he's pointing out, like, if he does beat John Moxley this Wednesday, he will have no choice but to fight him for the AEW World Championship. Get the title that he lost, like over half a year. And this is where he's like, and if I have to do what I gotta do, then I have to lay you down. Like, if you And this is where there's like now John Moxley, like as for him, like if it is him, I don't have no problem. I was like, yeah, like I don't blame you, Swerve. Like despite him being a 4-time world champion in All Elite Wrestling, this is where he's like, and this is where he's like, but I gotta admit, like. This is where then John Moxley, like you are for nobody cannot get that ranking more title holders holding like that unless you're like extremely in the all elite level. And this is where and he's like, I really thought we were cutting the same cloth, considering the other company, until he mentioned like that there's nobody in the back like that can hold like that world championship like you can. And this is where I was like, yeah, I agree. He's so delusional for saying that. And that's where then what Strickland then dismissed it, saying, "I don't believe anything what you're saying, John." Like, which who would believe him because considering what he drinks in his hometown. That's where he's like, you stand in boiler room, like talking in riddles, like if you're in your home city in the worst city. And he's like, I see you, look at you, John, and like that is true, legitimate desperation from you, John. And I was like, yeah, like he's just trying to look relevant, but I thought. He received relevancy. His two friends even know that's still in the other company. That's where then Swerve Strickland like the only way you're gonna take me down if you're gonna send a real maniac more crazy than I am. And this is where Swerve Strickland like in 3 weeks time I get down in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which I nearly got PTSD for hearing that name. But that's where then he said like whether it's Mox or Cope, like the outcome don't even matter at this point. Like the Dynasty era will continue for your boy the mogul. Like it's gonna be me that's gonna bring back home the world champion. With the fans start pointing at Swerve Strickland. Somebody's behind him by pointing it out. This is where then he didn't got to see it because he was continue in his mood like of cutting his promo. This is where then we saw somebody in a black clothing like on and also wearing a black beanie hat. This is where he attacks Swerve Strickland with a That's where then John Moxley whacked him right in the back with the what they call the crowbar. That's where then he hit a curb stomp right onto the face of Swerve Strickland afterwards. That's where then Swerve Strickland was pretty much lifeless after taking the bump. This is where John Moxley went on the camera. He's like you, and this is where he's like. What do you expect that to be out there, Swerve? A free pass, like for you to say whatever you want. You don't get the say sugar honey iced tea in it. Like the free ones, like no respect will get you in there, Swerve. Like Swerve, like JY, all these guys, including Cope, they're all amateurs. I hate all y'all's guts, including you, Cole. And I hate what you did to me. It will be too late for you, Cole. Because the rated R Superman is gonna be a dead man. That's where he starts, and then this is where he shot something before he left, which I didn't get a chance to hear what he said because he said it so quickly and said it so psychotically that's why Moxley the reason why for Moxley acting like this because he's just drinking that disgusting water from Cincinnati. You should never drink that water. Like it just it will make you more maniacally sadistic, like more Moxley is. Like given that it's very odd, unnatural nature and of the water line in the city, which I'm gonna stop talking about because I got so much more to talk about on AEW. And what's your thoughts onto this tease of a feud? And do you think it will be John Moxley? And do you think John Moxley will be? I wish I could right now, but I'm still in this review. But anyways, this is where we got. But what are your thoughts onto John? What's your thoughts on this tease right here with John Moxley attacking Swerve Strickland? I was like, one thing for sure about that, he better be prepared for the receipts to be cashed in on him because normally when somebody attacks Swerve Strickland, he normally gets them back. Like, why don't you ask the likes of Samoa Joe that question? Like that he got, what was coming to him and then some. He even cost him his AEW World Championship about almost 12 months ago. But this is where he got pulled away by, I believe, Jerry Lynn, which he's a backstage producer. in AEW now. But this is where we got Lexi Nair was in another backstage interview, but this was more proper with what's his name, Thunder Rosa. This where the this where the this where this where Thunder Rosa. This where the That's what they try to ask the doctor what the update is. This what Thunder Rosa's like no, it don't matter if I'm quitting. Quitting. That's where she was like. That's where they was like, no, don't be doing that. Anyways, no, don't be doing that. Don't show that. No. Anyways, this is what we got. But yeah, let me know in the comments. This is what Thunder Rosa was like. It doesn't matter, like. Yeah, that's very funny. Yeah, it's where they got Thunder Rosa and said like, it don't even matter. It don't even matter. Like if I'm not quitting, I'm gonna get my revenge onto Megan Bain, and then she was like, and it's gonna be more painful and more, and I'm gonna break more things out of you, like both physically and mentally, like more than what you did to my ribs. This where then she ran out of there, which I believe she blurted out a very inappropriate word, like a very bad word. Trey, stop! Can't you see I'm doing my podcast? Stop doing that. Don't go too far with that. No. Just please, just take out the living room. You can play like this in here in just a moment. You're not supposed to be doing that. No, don't do it. Don't be playing. No, if you don't do that, do it out in the living room. If you're gonna do all that, like you can be in here, but everybody's gonna be watching. Even your own cousins watching this right now. You can't be doing that right here. That's very inappropriate. And even everybody's watching this all over the world. Like they don't want to see that. Don't you assassinators? Like yeah. You can't be show everything that you got, and that will get you get some restriction strikes for doing stuff like that. I'll say it depends on the ratings, and maybe I can be considered R-rated, but even if I am, I don't want to be showing some nothing like that on here. And it's not like we're running adult entertainment. Even if we were, like we wouldn't be like having kids doing that. Like this is for people that are over 18 years old. But anyways, this is where we got what hologram then came out because he had a 6-man tag match teaming with what's his name the top team with Top Flight of Dante and Darius Martin taking on the Shane Taylor Promotions of Lee Moriarty and the Infantry of Carly Bravo and Sean Dean. That's where then we got things got started with what's his name hologram and Lee Moriarty. This is where they're all getting more technical, like by going for roll-ups and then trying to go for some little amateur style submission holds until we got Lee Moriarty that hit the forearm strike when he tried to go for a roll up, which it ends up being a kick out. This is where we got. This is where we got what's his name Dante Martin to try to. All right, which one you boys want to get dirty with the high flyer, like the highest flyer in AEW? This is where it was what was his name? It was I believe was what's his name? Sean Dean. This is where he goes for a springboard. What's where he dodges out of his attack, knocks him down off his feet, hits a springboard senton in the ring. This is where we got what's his name? This is where we got what's his name? This is where we got Dante Martin go for an armbar. This is where we got what's his name? Sean Dean, or was it? Yeah, then trying to go for a clothesline, but he ends up getting flying head scissors, followed up with a drop kick. Then we got Dante Martin was like, yeah, come on, let's do this. And this is where we got. And this is where we got Leo Rush and what's his name? Leo Rush and what's his name? Action Andretti was there watching it right up on the stage with two chairs pull out. This is where we got him. This is where we got Car Bravo did a blind tag by tagging out tagging out his partner Sean Dean. This is where he hits a big boot right into Dante Martin when he least expected it to be. This is where we got the partial powerful force and all the professional wrestling. The commercial break that came on. This is where we got. But once we got the partial adverts was done, this is where we got the Dante Martin was getting back on his feet. This is where we got another tease of some romance between Beast Mortals and Harley Graham. With yeah, I guess I'll put. But anyway, this is where we got Harley Graham, and then there was going face to face like in a very certain way. I'm like, I wonder what they've been doing when the camera stopped rolling when they were both in the locker room, which we'll probably hear on the news probably very soon. But excuse me, before I get into that, I want to step out for a second because I need to do something real fast. Well, want to do something, but I don't know. But anyways, let's. But as what I was saying, assassinators is where we got. That's where we got. That's where we got Sean. No, I mean it was Darius Martin that got the hot tag. He made a comeback until the infantry took over him. That's where he got. This where then this where I believe was Carly Bravo to try to go for a pin. He probably got away with if it wasn't for that meddling I'll say lighted luchador, but this is where he got knocked down by Carly Bravo. No, it was Dante Martin that hit a Hurricane Rana right into Carly Bravo. This is where a hologram that hits a flying head scissors into an arm drag right onto Lee Moriarty, like suicide dived him right into the was it the bottom corner side? Yeah, no, it was the upper corner side, the upper side. This is where we got what's your name? Carly Bravo to try to go for the scissors kick, like if he's a certain 5-time world champion. This is where we got but this is where Dante Martin go for a wheelbarrow roll, but this is where he get pushed right into his little brother Dante. This is where they get tagged. This is where it's a German suplex while Dante Martin in the middle drop kick. They easily get the 1, 2, 3, and the winner of this match, the Top Flight and Hologram, which I'll say I gave them a big congratulations on that win. They definitely need it. Like it's very rare to see the Top Flight get wins, but it's very often we see Hologram get it. I believe he's still undefeated, like whether if it's tag team or singles action. But yeah, like I want to see more of this. Like with it just shows that there's still hope with these guys. Like and if they do something right now, like they don't have to worry about their chances of making it in AEW's tag team division or anywhere in the Jacksonville-based company. But this is where we got sarcastic claps for the claps foot. What's his name? What's his name? We got some pretty cool claps from what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? From Action Andretti and Leo Rush is where we saw a pretty cool spot. Again, on the replay with Hologram to hit that cannonball suicida right on to what's his name, to what they call it, to Lee Moriarty. It's starting to be more common, and it's 2025. So yeah, dives are gonna occur anytime, any place. I guess I don't know. But yeah, but after they show that's where they start showing like all the matches that this is where they start showing like the advertisement of AEW All In, because it will be in Texas this year, and I'll say in Arlington and on July 12th this year. But yeah, but moving on, like moving on. Yeah, absolutely. But that's where we got Megan Bain and taking on Thunder Rosa, Nick. This is where you would. This is where then we thought we at least expect. Yes, okay.
He fake died.
I'm so good. I'm the wasted like biscuits. But anyways, this is where we got Megan Bain throws Thunder Rosa right into the bottom corner side. This is where the bottom or the left corner. This is where she hits the shoulder tackle and knocking her out. You would thought this was going to be hopeless, but luckily, like Thunder Rosa was persevering, like despite what was going to be happening. But oh yeah, the 6-man tag match previously that gets the blue ribbon of the night. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, this is where during the partial powerful force break, this is where we got Thunder Rosa was keep getting punished, but this is where we finally got to see Thunder Rosa start fighting back when the adverts came out. But this was in a very wrestling tennis ish what's it called, like battle. This is where Thunder Rosa went right into the bottom corner slide. This is where then she got some punches and chops. That's what she said she was gonna do, but unfortunately, like Megan Bain was just too strong for her. This is where she tried to go for suplex. Somehow Thunder Rosa flipped right out of it, kick her in the gut. This is where she tried to breathe the volatileness out of her brain, like because somebody must have hypnotized or brainwashed her or possessed her, like of only having violence in the mind. She's like that. She's like that. That chief of a certain popular tribe, like that's in the other companies, like a cousin that thinks he was a chief in their tribe, but this is where we got Thunder Rosa, then we're right to the upper right corner side. This is where we got the Meta, then hit the middle drop kick right onto the Golden Goddess Warrior, if I'm not mistaken, whatever you want to call her. And I'll say the one thing I gotta hand it to her, she is fantastic in the ring, and she's very powerfully, I'll say, dangerous. Like, I mean that in a compliment. And I can see why what some wrestlers, including the females, are saying, especially one in particular. But anyway, this is where we got Thunder Rosa then picks up Megan Bain. This is where Megan Bain punches her right to the midsection. Then try to go for a power slam, snake eyed her, face first right to the ring post, but ends up backfiring when she gets hit shoulder first. And despite her being a bit too violent, like I gotta admit that she does have like charisma as a dominant force to be reckoned with, like that she could be future women's champion. But this is where we got. And let's go for a knife edge chop. This is where we got the Rosa going right up in the top corner side. And this is where she try to go for a crossbody, but this is where we end up getting Megan Bain grab onto her, try to go for a fallaway slam. But this is where Thunder Rosa elbows her right into the side. This is where we got this is where Thunder Rosa go for a roundhouse kick, kicking her right into the head. This is where Thunder Rosa. It is what she saw what exactly she is. This is where we got her going right to Shining Wizard, but this is where we got Megan Bain Carter hit her with an F10 right into the middle of the ramp, which I'll say not the perfect one because Thunder Rosa got her knees down, but maybe it's better to be safe than sorry. That's where we like, and this is where we got Thunder Rosa. Oh no, this is where we got Megan Bain then get back in the ring before what's her name? Aubrey was counting her out. This is where Thunder Rosa started trying to call. This is where she was like halfway there until she got there at 9.1. This is where we got Megan Bain hits the F10 rip yet again. This is where she gets the 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Megan Bain. This is where everybody started booing her because she's a very terrible. She's a very terrible human being, like in kayfabe, or if she even is a human. Like, but this is where we got.
Don't laugh, Tom.
Okay, no problem. I'm glad we give you a prayer. But this is where we got Megan Bain and went right back to Thunder Rosa. This is where she tried to go for like a this women's gut wrench lock maneuver. But this is where luckily Timeless Tony Storm came out. This is where she nearly ripped her TITs off. But unfortunately, she wasn't successful because it's where we got Megan Bain caught her when she tried to attack when they tried to face to face. She had the F10 on her to add more dangerous leverage into the matter, and then they kind of reminded me she's like a female version of that star that's being accused of a trafficking and assault charge, which we haven't seen in the other company lately. But let me know about that in the comment section right down below. But this is where we got Kristen Statler to come in and try to help out her new ally, Dana Rosa, while Luther picked up time as Tony Storm. This is where they show them carrying him in the same manner. This is where they start advertising Cope versus Moxley, and then we got the fatal four-way contender match for the International Championship, which will indeed be Orange Cassidy, Ricochet, Mark Davis, and Speedball Mike Bailey. And we got the latest match that been added, which is going to be Megan Bain taking on Kristen Statler. And who do you think will win out and be the alpha female of this contest? The biggest alpha female, let me know in the comment section right down below. But it's where we got a match that was announced for next week's Collision, which is going to be at night one, if I'm mistaken, on the 1 hour, one night only event, because the college basketball tournament is going to be on all day on that day, and same with Sunday. And it probably won't come on until late, but luckily it's going to be on for a good hour, just like the next night. It's going to be like an AEW version of Mania, but luckily it's just only for an hour. But that's where we got that's where we got in the following night we probably see on when they go to Omaha, Nebraska on the night 2, I believe they will take on Commander with a K and Hologram taking on Trilistico and Beast Mortos, which we're gonna talk about that in just a moment. But next up, we got the main event of the evening, which is and I forgot to tell you the women's match. Not just gonna get it was very tough. Despite Thunder Rosa suffered some damages by the Golden Goddess, or whatever you want to call her, she still fought no matter what, and fought if her life and the championship was on the line. But let me know down in the comments below how you were rated. Do you think it's too much for me? But yeah, it shows that the women definitely they're taking the women's division more seriously, and it's not just the afterthought of success in each wrestling division. It's probably the other most important one, just like they do with the men's, including the World Championship. And I couldn't be more interested and entertained. The only thing that was probably not entertaining, unfortunately, we didn't get more entertainment on that because the others were too busy doing their other things outside of the company. So that's why I didn't see much of them. Well, at least that's the case with not seeing them making an appearance. But let's moving on, we got the tag team match, which we finally got some redemption here. This is where we got Danny Garcia was sitting with the commentators, Nigel and Antonio. This is where we got Uncle Dax the Axe being a cool uncle that I go for fist bump right onto the young TNT champion. This is where we got Cash the Flash and Colorado starting off again like 14 days ago. They just start going wrist locks one another. This is where we got Kyle O'Reilly almost won when he Irish whipped Uncle Cash the Flash. This is where he goes for a leaping dodge, but this is where he ends up getting swiped kick right into the face by O'Reilly. This is where O'Reilly sends Flash flying right to the upper left side in speed. This is where we got Roderick Strong going up for a knee to the gut maneuver right to the midsection, which if I say the other word, luckily my nephews or
what did you want to see?
This is where luckily my nephew and his friend, that's kind of like my other nephew, I should say, don't understand what I mean. They just think it's like a move that's a very dangerous move. So I guess I can get away with a little bit. The knee gut buster. This is where Roderick Strong managed to tag in Kyle O'Reilly, go for a double suplex right onto Uncle Cash the Flash. Here's where Kyle O'Reilly start going for left, right, lefts, because they got that combat compactive background. That's where he throws him right to his corner, right into the bottom left side. Where is brother Uncle Cash, Uncle Dax Axe? Well, it was Cash the Flash did that, throwing Roderick Strong. That's where we hit a shoulder tackle onto him. That's where we got the. Here we go.
Doing that. Did he break his bottom or something?
This is where we got Uncle Dax the Axe tags himself in the match while Roderick Strong and what's the name? Cash the Flash. This is where he hits a headbutt right to the head in their face. Whatever it is. This is where we got.
Let's go.
This is where we got Uncle Dax the Axe and picks up Roderick Strong. This is where he snapmares him. This is where he got him in a headlock. This is where them he was like submit while you have the chance to, which you could blame him for saying that. This is where we got. This is where we got Roderick Strong try to go for a fly to a tag, but this is where Uncle Dax the Axe wouldn't help him. This is where then he trying to pull try to That's where then we got Roderick Strong trying to reach and pull himself. But that's where he grab a handful of tights of Uncle Dax the Axe, which was in an appropriate way. This is where we got this is where we got what's his name? Uncle Cash the Flash guy come in and try to distract the referee because they knew that Uncle Dax the Axe wouldn't successfully hit a pile driver. So this is where then he let him flip right out. This is where the referee wasn't looking. Roderick Strong immediately go for a tag. This is where he tags in Colorado, but this is where the referee's like, hey, like you can't get in the ring. This is where Colorado's like, but I just tagged in. He's like, but I didn't see. And this is where like go back there, and this is where then we got Uncle Dax the Axe then hits a clothesline out of nowhere where Cash flashes that spot, but a clothesline Majiki. Just trying to say like all fair and loving war to the Undisputed Kingdom. This is where we also got Adam Cole was also sitting with the commentators like its future opponents for his rematch for the AEW TNT Championship. But this is where we got. This is where both. But this is where we got the partial powerful force of all of pro wrestling that came on, which was. You probably already know it's the commercial break, but
it's a mouse.
But what else happened next? It was once we got done with the partial adverts. This is where we got who was on top. It was FTR that was on top. This is where. This is where we got Cash the Flash to try to go for a small package when Kyle O'Reilly was winning the punching battle. This is where then we got Uncle Cash the Flash try to go for suplex, only for him to dodge out of the way, hits an ankle lock right onto the ankle of Cash the Flash. Is where then he's like tap out. That's where he puts him right to the other side. Is where Uncle Dax the Axe try to go for right hand, but he gets blocked. He gets elbow right into the face. That's where Kyle O'Reilly go for another ankle lock. Like if he's either a certain Olympic gold medalist or even a former MMA fighter that transitioned into wrestling. Like this is where then. And then Roderick Strong did the same with Uncle Dax the Axe. This is where the 20-minute time limit almost went off. But this is where Uncle Dax the Axe pushed Roderick Strong right into the bottom left side corner. This is where Uncle Dax the Axe went up in the top upper left corner side, or the bottom right side. This is where he hit the flying diving headbutt, like if he's a certain wrestler that cannot be mentioned anywhere in a wrestling related project. But this is where we got what else happened? It was Uncle Dax the Axe started going for picking up Kyle O'Reilly. This is where he didn't try to go for an electric chair right on him. This is where we got what's his name? When the Cash the Flash then was right up in the bottom left side, but Kyle O'Reilly pushes Uncle Dax, trips him right over, boom, and lands right into the family jewels. This is where we got Kyle O'Reilly try to go for some kind of an avalanche maneuver. I thought he was going for a suplex, but he was going for like some kind of Kimura lock, trying to just lock it in. But this is where we got Uncle Dax the Axe tags himself in the match. This is where we got That's where I got Uncle Dax the Axton going up in the top rope when he tagged me. This is where it helped his brother Cash the Flash try to go for Sunset for Powerbomb, which we got Uncle Dax the Axe try to go for a clothesline, but this is where he try to go for pin. This is where Adam Cole started applauding to them, like, yeah, that's right, boys. And then this is where we got what's his name? Danny Garcia was like, yeah, and that was so dang close. Like this is where it. And this is where Adam Cole's like, but it wasn't enough because Kyle O'Reilly was the resilient wrestler. Yeah, he really is. It never fails. Like, he has way too much energy. I'm still wondering how to get him into some kind of a baby league sports because of his energetic energy. But anyways, this is where Roderick Strong to try to go for a knee strike. But Kyle O'Reilly, they go for a kick right into the midsection, then stop him right to his head, then go for a discus elbow with Roderick Strong go for a knee strike. Kyle to try to go for a pin onto the axe, but this is where Uncle Dax will not take the 3 count for an answer, and who could blame him, especially trying to get some redemption. This is where we got Kyle O'Reilly start going for a roundhouse kick with Rod Strong, kicks him right in the gut. This is where we got Kyle O'Reilly go for Brainbuster. This is where we got Rod Strong hit a knife edge chop, which triggered both Gunther and Dax the Axe, which he was second place, but this is where Dax the Axe remains being first place. Like this is where we got the ring general then was having a field day of going crazy. He was having a field day of showing some very frustrations like of seeing this match, which that's why he probably.
He's not giving me space. Why are you not giving me space?
Can y'all spread out a bit, like to be? Can y'all just scoot over to the opposite sides, boys? But that's where we got Roderick Strong try to go for a pin, like once he brought down Uncle Dax the Axe, but only for Cash the Flash, then picks up Kyle O'Reilly was trying to guillotine him, spine busting him right back first, like this is his own version of the Young Bucks. This is where they start throwing fists right into each other with the Undisputed Kingdom like getting cheered while the FTR start booing. This is where fans start chanting, "This is awesome!" Which this is why he's getting the golden trophy tonight. Even though like the women's match get the platinum trophy, but I just think that they're successfully capitalized on to Megan Bain, but at the same time, hopefully that like this championship match will be something that's for experience purposes and not like just trying to hurry up and try to give out cheap opportunities, like just throw into the fans' face, like thinking that he's gonna be quickly gonna be a fan favorite by night when it takes time. But anyway, this is where we got. This is where Uncle Dax the Axe almost got a win. You probably got in the way if it wasn't for the meddling guy that could be related to the Auto Store family. But this is where then this is where he did a suicide. This is where he catches the Flash of the suicide on the Kyle O'Reilly. But this is where he throws him right in the ring. But this is where Uncle Dax the Axe tried to go for a pin, but Roddy would not take a 3, no matter what at this point. Like that's like from the past, like I'll say 15 minutes of this contest. That's where fans say this is wrestling. This is where we got. And this is where we got Uncle Dax the Axe. They started hitting some good strikes, some jabs, and weaves and bobs. Good question. I don't know what has happened to him, but that's gonna be in a different video for a different day. Like if I ever talk about anything like in my personal life or anything about what's like outside of the podcast, then I'll probably talk about there, but more about that. But this is where we got Uncle Dax the Axe try to go for a suplex. Then he tried to go right into the up in the bottom left and right side, but Dax got Roderick Strong in the bottom left side, while Uncle Cash the Flash got the splash. But this is where we got This is where Kyle O'Reilly go for a knee strike. I saw knees down. What's his name? Cash the Flash. Kyle O'Reilly go for a flying knee right on to Dax the Axe. This is where we got. Kyle O'Reilly was very disappointed when it was in 3, only 2.999999999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being 3. I was like, yeah, I must have, even though I didn't even know it. maybe he probably had a little bit too much of candy, perhaps. But anyway, this is where we got. But that's where we got the FTR. Then finally got the. That's where we got Daxie actually cast a flash of FTR. Finally got them together. Then they saw Rock Strong was up, hits a shatter machine right onto him. Well, and this is where we got the flash. Got the 1, 2, 3, and this is where we finally got FTR got the W. Let's really start continuing this turn like of a twist, like because let's just say we got Adam Cole like trying to be the peacemaker, trying to tell him tell everybody that's involved like we got to make an agreement this what's it called handshake it out and I want to hereby be the guy to do it. This is where he looked face to face into Daniel Garcia's like made the better man win because it's gonna be for the champion. This is gonna be for the TNT Championship. And I was wondering like maybe we can see a tease of a heel turn here with Danny here. That's where Adam Cole and what's his name? And Daniel Garcia, however, was disagreeing like who was gonna win. Though this is where we got Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong trying to do the same when Uncle Dax the Action cast Flash. They just walked right out like they did 2 weeks ago when Roddy and O'Reilly won their match like earlier when it was supposed to be the FTR's match. And yeah, this team of a heel turn could be happening. And we saw like Danny Garcia like kind of showed some little bit of details, the way like you're talking to Adam Cole with him shaking his hand like that, trying to make him look like you trust. But it's where you got Daniel Garcia said congratulations with a handshake to the uncles like of the tag team division. That's where Antonio Schiavone was closing out the show by advertising everything that's going to be happening this Wednesday on the road to AEW Revolution. Oh no, it already happened last Sunday. I mean AEW Dynasty, but yeah, that was the end of AEW Dynamite. That was the end of the show, and I give the show about overall maybe 4.5 stars. Like I'm not sure what was very bad, what was necessary. If it was something like missed, like let me know in the comments. It's probably something minor, but that's why I'm giving it 4.5 because it seemed like it wasn't perfect, but at the same time, it was something that was must see. Like when it comes to you being a wrestling fan of watching something new in the industry. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And if so, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button. Also hit the subscribe and post notification bell for more SNA videos. And also subscribe on my other channel at SNA Entertainment. And also, please feel free to what else to do before I close out this video. But oh yeah, let me know. But what are your thoughts on Collision tonight? Like, was it something that was probably the best one that we've seen in recent weeks, or do you think it was too mediocre, just something that was a filler, like for what's to come for AEW Dynamite this week, like with the Revolution rematches and other matches, and we got, and what's your and also we got. But yeah, like we're just gonna have to let me know in the comments down below. We're just gonna have to see like who's gonna be the winners and the losers at this at that time. Like, but for now, we're just gonna continue doing more other videos like for which I'm gonna talk about right here. Like on the one channel, we got. On the other channel, we will be doing movies. We're going to be talking about from action-packed movies to comedy. We're going to be talking about all the wildest and intriguing movie news and rumors that you assassinators need to know from the IMBD article, if I'm mistaken. Like, so make sure to expect anything like intriguing like to talk about on today tomorrow. But we will be going back to wrestling stuff like in the news, like on Monday, where we're going to be talking about the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know from the Wrestle Zone article. For March 17th. Well, tomorrow will be the 16th, where I'm gonna do the movie news on the other channel. But we're gonna be doing on March 17th on St. Patrick. It will be the St. Patrick's Day edition, and we'll also be seeing Monday Night Raw, which will be live in Bristol, Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to be seeing the face-to-face confrontation between John Cena and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and and like what you think what's gonna be ending up transpiring like on that event. Like let me know down in the comments section right down below. Also probably gonna be seeing some we're gonna be seeing like more revelations and more like developments like on the return of Roman Reigns with him attacking both CM Punk and Seth Rollins in some capacity as well, whether if Roman Reigns is there or not. And also we got some probably a couple matches, maybe even Braun Breaker. I think it's Braun Breaker taking on what's his name? Braun Breaker taking on what's his name? The current Intercontinental Champion. Braun Breaker defended his Intercontinental Champion against Finn Balor, which something tells me we will be seeing a possible return of Sheamus, which he would probably challenge a Braun Breaker in Jey Uso style. Like I said, you may have beat me at Saturday night's main event, but yep, like even though it's Geese title shots, like I'm still gonna get a shot at that Intercontinental Champion. Finally finished my story, like of becoming an Ultimate Grand Slam champion, just like my best friend is no longer there because he's on the company I just talked about. But yeah, that'll be it for now, Assassinators. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and hopefully y'all like and yeah, and all that stuff that I did, and then we're gonna be talking about before we got the movie news, but we're gonna end the video for right here. And I hope that y'all Assassinators have a phenomenal rest of your phenomenal and successful, satisfying Saturday, and I'll see you next time with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye bye, my Assassinators. Yeah. Have a magnificent time, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.